Professor Schwab, what is the importance of holding an international government summit? Would it have had the same importance before the international financial crisis?
It's very crucial to have such a summit because the role of governments never has been as important as it is today for the future of the well-being of citizens. We need governments not only to serve people better, but we need governments also to provide the framework, to put out the regulations. And I think the crisis has shown us that we need a framework, that we need regulations not only on national but on global levels.
What is the goal of the partnership between the World Economic Forum and the government summit?
Today, the big challenges in the world can only be resolved if you have a cooperation between governments and the private sector. And if I speak about the private sector, I mean not only business, I mean civil society, I mean women, I mean the young generation, I mean the best experts. The World Economic Forum is a role model, I would say, for such a multi-stakeholder partnership. And in this way, we are very honored to be associated with this summit, and in some way also to show how a multi-stakeholder partnership can help to address the key issues.
It is often said in Davos, Professor, that the world problems are interconnected, interrelated, and require coordinated international efforts when it comes to risk management. Do you see this reflected in the agenda here at the summit?
Yes, of course, but let's not forget, this is a meeting which is mainly looking at the issues here in the region and to show that the region can serve as a role model for the world.
Survey results from around the world show some form of erosion when it comes to citizens' confidence in the ability of governments to tackle crucial problems. Where does restoration of confidence start, in your opinion?
With the spreading of social networks, of the internet, of course we are living in a time of raising expectations. Citizens see what's happening around the world. So examples, best practices become very important. And if the citizens feel the governments are not putting into practice the best examples which they see in television and so on, they feel they are disappointed. And of course it reduces the trust into the government. So a conference like this one can also restore the trust into the government because citizens see governments are really concerned about the best ways to serve their citizens.
Some sessions, Professor, here seem really centered around the citizen. We have citizens' happiness, we have five-star services, delighting your customers. To what extent is the ecosystem for public services for future governments a demand-driven one that should really concentrate on citizens as individuals?
I think you use the right word by saying ecosystem. At the key of everything today is innovation. We live in a very fast-moving, very interconnected world. And you will have a technological progress faster than we have experienced ever before. And in such a situation, partnership again is the key. And we need not only innovation in the business sectors, new business models, we need innovation particularly in an institutional way. And here, of course, governments are at the center.
Successes from global cities are being discussed here at the summit. Would this, in your opinion, Professor, put on the table possibilities or opportunities for G2G business, government-to-government trade?
Of course. I think today, if you want to make progress in a very complex world, the best manner is to look at the best practices around in the world. And you find many cities today who are trying to develop new ways to serve their citizens as a smart city, as a smart government. And I think this conference helps very much to be a platform for exchanges of best practices.
Beyond exchanges, do you see actual trade happening, actual deals between governments? In what sectors would that be feasible?
I think what we are seeing, of course, are concepts.
Yes.
And now the art will be to translate those concepts into practical ways. And what I have seen and what I have heard already in my discussions with representatives of the governments, we will see during the meeting some very pragmatic ways how to translate a concept into a practical service which really serves the citizen.
On the other hand, Professor, where would you say lie the real opportunities for public-private partnership in this part of the world?
I think today governments have to provide platforms. And I would compare it with an iPad, for example, of Apple. Governments provide the iPad, and then it's private business who creates the applications. And you see with Apple, there are thousands of applications today on the iPad. So what I foresee is smart governments providing a very smart platform, and then citizens providing as many practical applications as possible.
Professor, what is the importance of holding this summit in the United Arab Emirates?
At the moment, when you are living outside the Arab world, you have many news which are not very encouraging. So it's very good to see a country which gives a positive signal and a positive example. I believe very much into the future of the Arab world, but here we are too much influenced by what's happening in Syria and other partners. So it's crucial to show also the positive side and the positive example. And this conference really is such a positive sign. It's a signal of hope.
Professor Klaus Schwab, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.